An ordinary person is going to create an ordinary human being. Can you send your child to someone who is a genius?
Welcome to the Change My Way of Life podcast. Shree Krsna Guruji.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes, today we're going to be speaking about children. So the first question that we have is, should a parent direct their child towards their family profession as opposed to some other interests?
If there is a facilitation in the household itself, then I think the entry point is very easy. Don't you think so? Now, if I become a solo doctor, I have to think in terms of where I can work. Can I put up a practice? Can I join some hospital? Those kind of things, right? But let us say the parents are already doctors. They may be having a hospital. They may be owners of some hospital. They have the equipment, the people running it, the place, everything is available, right? Like, on a platter. Don't you think that would be an easy entry point for this young person? So I feel that he doesn't have to go through the trauma or the travails of life for getting into that field. You look at politicians' children or look at the actors' children. You know, Douglas Sr., wasn't he responsible for getting Michael Douglas Jr. into it? You can see the whole family is into it. Why? Because then you don't have to stand in front of 10 people and give your audition or something. They don't have to do that much of audition. Just one small hint. Okay, my son is interested in, say, acting, direction. Very easy. Facilitation happens. So for the children, they have to understand, is it important for them to struggle, or can they use their parents' base which they have created and get an easy entry to that field? That is why you will find that if there are hoteliers, and the big hoteliers, Hiltons and all that, you have seen their children enter that particular business so fast. It becomes easy, and the candidate, that is the child, will not have to go through a lot of struggles. It becomes easier for him or her. But in case if there is no such background, then the entry becomes very, very tough. At that time, they can get disillusioned. And there is that thing going on in India and the world, nepotism. So everybody says, oh, this is nepotism. See, the actor's son has become an actor. Come on. They already have created the base, so why not? I think it is good.
Yes, Guruji. So is it good to start specializing your child early on, or should you give them access to a broader spectrum of ideas?
Yes. Very interesting. From today's perspective, this is I think, a very important question. Think like this. If you are a painter, let us say the wife and the husband both are painters, and they have a son. Now, you may be doing modern art and somebody else will be doing something else. Now, the youngster who is there, he has to adapt to today's day and age. Okay. A simple example would be, earlier we were doing things on canvas. Lay the canvas, start thinking on it. It would take years to, develop the whole skill sets. Today there are tools available. You can have an iPad and you can create that entire image on the iPad, and then you just have to see how it looks. So you can get a proof of concept before you have even drawn, with that paintbrush of yours. Don't you think this adoption of modern technology and the way things are done today is facilitating the newcomer in this field? So I feel that the parents or whoever the person that is training this youngster should have a wider outlook about life. That I got to think about training this young man for the future, not for the past. Because think like this. Today, let us say, I'm just taking your own example like painting. Now, if you are a painter, you are painting a certain portraits or maybe sceneries and something like that. Where are you going to market them? In the households, galleries, or industries, in offices? I mean, isn't that the places where you're going to keep it? Today we don't have palaces, but definitely we have big houses. Maybe one big painting is good enough for us. So think like that. This world is expanding. We are going to open up new kinds of markets in this world. Have you noticed that the number of billionaires have gone up? You have seen that today the world is booming in money and power and everything. Today, everything has gone way beyond what we used to be doing 50 years ago. I have seen utter poverty, you know, where we didn't even have food to eat. But today, you can order online. You get the best of the foods. The five-star hotel foods comes to you online. Can you imagine that? So, if you train your child or your mentee in these modern methods, using modern techniques, I think that person stands a very good chance to becoming something in the future. A genius for the future, definitely. Yes.
Yes. So, Guruji, does pushing our children, does it make them better or does it cause them early burnout?
Yes, you are not supposed to push hard. See, understand one thing, everything has to be done in moderation. You can encourage a child. You can try to encourage a child. Give him a plethora of different types of visual. Okay, you can do this. You can play chess. You can go for gymnastics. You can go for skating or whatever that is there. Give them that kind of an ability and send them to the best mentor available if they show a positive leaning. See, this is a very important thing which people forget. During my childhood, I have seen a young boy, my neighbor. He used to sing early in the morning. He used to start at 4 o'clock in the morning, classical singing. He went on to become a national level singer. And who was his teacher? His teacher was another genius. So think on those lines. You need a good mentor also. If your child is interested in a certain subject, don't send him to an ordinary person. No. An ordinary person is going to create an ordinary human being. Can you send your child to someone who is a kind of a genius or kind of a very good mentor in that field? I think you are already laying a good foundation there. So it is complete. That is, first, your parenting, you should never force, but you should encourage. Next, you have to look very closely at what the child is interested in. See, please understand the child shows an eye for certain things. You know, a few years ago when I was running an organization, we used to buy those Raspberry Pis and all that. Raspberry Pi is a small computer. So I have seen youngsters from college. I gave them these things as toys and they created various different things they created. So it is like encouraging them in new fields. So give them the via media of looking at the world as a stage. So if someone is interested in, let us say, ballet dancing, why not put them in the best ballet dancing school in the world? Who says you may not afford, you cannot afford, but you may have a Ramanujam on hand, isn't it? Think on those lines. See, if you want to be a master chef, why not go to France and learn over there? For me, I wanted to learn. So the first thing that I did was I would go and look at all the recipe books that I could find at that time. I had made friends with a lot of these chefs in all these places, all the kitchens. And also for me, my Bible at that time when I was in Mumbai was this very beautiful book, which I have today. Some of my disciples bought it for me. So now it always has to be encouragement. Next would be to give them the right direction, give them a good mentor, give them all the tools that they require, and a very healthy background. Provide for them. That is what the parents can do. Instead of just forcing their children to do something like getting some good ranks and all, that is all useless. Let me tell you this much. You can't make geniuses by coming first in the class. No.
So, Guruji, how can parents encourage the child without putting pressure on the child?
Observation skills. See, the parents need to become very observant at their son or their daughter when the child is very small. See, imagine that the child, when he's a tiny baby, you know, people give them all kinds of toys. And then they will say that Lego toys should not be given because the child can put it in his mouth and all that. But I have seen children playing with these builder toys. I have seen them playing with different kinds of tools. So what the parents can do is they can look at signs from the children. Oh, he's got observation skills. A child who comes over here, when I am working in the kitchen, he will take a small stool, he will stand on top of it, and then he will ask me, what are you putting in this? What is this? What is this? And you will not believe this. If I am putting a cinnamon, I will break a small portion of it and I'll tell him, taste it. And the child is very good at it. He will taste it and he will say, yeah, it tastes like this. What is this, Guruji? Oh, this is called cardamom. Why is this cardamom black and that cardamom green? You can imagine, he's learning that there is a green cardamom and there is a black cardamom. He's a kid, a very tiny fellow. But look at his observation skills. He is very clear about what he wants. He has developed, standing next to me, and when I am giving him some things for tasting, he has developed the tastes. See, he doesn't like chilies. So someday I will put some little chili in something. He will immediately say, there is chili in it. Can you guess that? So here, this skill development of his has started. So the parents have to be very observant. They have to see this kind of traits, and then they can develop the child in some field where he can use his skill sets. That is why the parents have to pay attention. See, I can understand that both the parents may not be around, but at least whoever is taking care of the child should pay very close attention and should develop his curiosity, get him moving in that direction. Maybe he is interested in logical games. Give him the logical toys. So this way, the parent can develop the child.
Yes, Guruji. So, Guruji, what are some mistakes that well-meaning parents might make?
The parents normally end up making mistakes thinking that, oh, I have trained my child in becoming a genius. And then they are expecting too much out of the child. When a child reaches the age of puberty, he becomes more like a rebel. At that point in time, the parents become very oppressive. I have seen parents when a child becomes 13, 14 and they have their own way of thinking, like this K-pop and all these kind of things. The parents think that, oh, why I should, allow my child to have a K-pop poster. They like it, so let them have it. Got the point? So they want to curb these kind of things. Many a times children are lost in games and various other things. At that time, they should put their foot down. See, you have to give them a specific timing to work within. a framework, and create that. But pitfalls are going to be there. If you give, let us say, a phone, the phone is going to get misused. If you give an iPad, it's going to get misused. Please remember this. So control is important. Keeping attention what the child is doing. Don't force the child in anything. So forcing the child becomes quite a lot, because by the time the child is around 15 and 16, there are competitive examinations. And when there are competitive examinations, these parents want to push their children towards these competitive classes, and they have to do their homework, their classwork, plus these classes as well. It's too much of pressure on them, too many books, too much of reading. The difference is like this. I have seen there is a very easy way out of this. The easy way out of this is, when the child is small, don't misuse the holidays. Parents want to take their children out on a holiday somewhere. Oh, we'll go to this place, we'll go to that place. Take them out, no doubt about it, for a few days. 2-3 days is okay. Don't send them to their grandfather and grandmother's place for a month or 2 months just like that. Because the grandfather and the grandmother are not understanding the child. They are going to pamper the child. No. Here what you have to see is, can you start introducing a new curriculum or a new syllabus slowly and steadily? During my time, when I was in a lower class, let us say I was in the 7th grade, my neighbor's kids were already in the 8th and the 9th grade. After exam, they would throw their books away. I would go and pick up those books from them. And I would go through all those books of theirs. Most of them are English prose, poetry, and this. For me, it was like storybook. So I had already learned in 7th standard, 7th grade, I already knew 9th grade work. 8th and 9th also. I never had to work hard for the 7th or the 8th or the 9th. Simply because I am ready for the show. I never misused my holidays. I used to be with my uncle in my farmhouse, but I would be carrying these books with me. And whenever I had the spare time, I would read them. I would go through those things. So you have to develop your child's ability in going further than their syllabus. Syllabus means a fixed thing, for the year. Why are you doing that? Can you introduce some other things for the child? Something which is very interesting, something that is very fascinating for the child. So one of the biggest mistakes the parents do is push the child in only reading the syllabus. That they should not do. Outside the syllabus, there is a beautiful world. Can you introduce this world to your child earlier on in stage in life, instead of waiting till eternity? I mean, the last day you're thinking, I should be doing this. You have seen all the children when they go to school and college, they are mucking at the last day. They'll open their notes. Why do they have to do that? If you know the subject, why do you have to mug anything? Why do you have to go and puke that whole thing over there? You will already get a good rank. Don't worry about it. If you know the subject very well and if you have studied it well. So the parent should not force the child. So these are some of the pitfalls that I have seen in life, with the parents pushing their children and trying to conform to the school's way of life, and telling them that, oh, we have to enjoy the holidays. Or no, this is not the way. You have to change your attitude and create this very beautiful atmosphere around the child, so that he can be a genius also. Yes.
Yes, Guruji. Well, Guruji, thank you for answering these questions today.
Thank you very much.
If you have enjoyed this presentation and would like to be informed of new presentations, remember to like, share, and subscribe or follow. Thank you.